Oh boy, a package from my long dead uncle that I didn't even know I had. Oh well. Note. Dear nephew, I bequeath you the cause of my death. In order to avoid the family curse, you must sit through all 5 of them this month. Beware, you will die of boredom. I mean, can't be that bad. I mean, it's You know who I am. Well, might as well get it done now. Just 12 years later. Fucking Twilight! Oh my God! So, funny thing, I never saw Twilight all the way through before. In fact, I've never seen any of them. Here, I'm wearing a Team Alucard shirt, mostly because I was that jerkhead big brother whose little sister was in the Twilight craze, and I just wanted to poke fun of her for it. Now, I wear it now because I love Helsing, but keep in mind, I was that big brother. I now realize wearing this was appropriate. Watching this movie, it is absolutely baffling. Baffling that this succeeded, that this became such a phenomenon. Like, I remember in high school the books were a thing. I never would have suspected the movies to be such a hit. Harry Potter, yes. Lord of the Rings, surprisingly, yes. But this, there is no way this movie became a success. There's no way. But somehow it did. Somehow the planets were aligned. Someone performed a virgin sacrifice, and Twilight became the hit that it was. It didn't have to be a good movie, it just had to be a box office hit. And then we got 4 more of these fucking movies. And I gotta review those too. Twilight is about a teenage girl named Bella who moves from Phoenix, Arizona to move in with her dad, Billy Burke, in Forks, Washington, where she somehow becomes popular, meets the popular kids who are vampires, and falls in love with one of them, who eventually becomes Batman. And nothing fucking happens. My God, is this movie dull and boring. This movie does nothing. At least until the last 15 to 20 minutes. Nothing happens. It is talking. It is discussing what vampires do. They talk about nothing. All right, for the majority of the movie, it is just discussing how their powers work, discussing what they like to eat, or discussing about why they shouldn't be in a relationship. That is it. That is all it is. Hell, it takes 50 minutes. 50 minutes before Edward is revealed to be a vampire. Okay, it took Harry 30 fucking minutes to find out he was a goddamn wizard. Look, I am not against vampires pretending or trying to integrate themselves into normal society, having normal lives, having normal jobs. All right, I'm actually behind that. I actually like that idea that there's a vampire who's pretty much the town doctor. There's vampires who just have these jobs. Hell, like fuck, one of my most recent favorite vampire movies of all time is What We Do in the Shadows. That movie's fucking great, and it's just about 4 vampires who are just regular dudes who had these long, extraordinary lives, who are now just living normal lives as vampires in a fucking flat. Check that movie out. It's great. And then watch the show. It's even better. But this, I don't get the hype. Look, I know it's not made for me. It's not. All right? But I was willing to give it a chance because I know how popular it was. I also know how unpopular it is. And you know what? I'm in the I don't like it crowd. But I also know it's made for teenage girls and horny moms for whatever fucking disturbing reason. And we'll get to that when I get to New Moon. I don't know what else I can say about this because it is so boring. It is so boring, I'm angry about it. I've never been angry about a boring movie before. And before anyone says that, oh, you just like explosions and shit, it's like, no, because guess what? I get fucking bored at Transformers movies too. Alright, I'm just like, fuck, I love slow burn movies. I love movies that build up tension, that take forever before anything fucking happens. There are movies like that, but that's called perfect execution. This isn't building up. This isn't trying to build a world or building up tension or anything. This is just mundane. Mundane teenage life with vampires. And the sad thing is, it's directed by a pretty good director. Catherine Hardwicke directs this. She also directed Lords of Dogtown and honestly one of the best biblical movies I ever saw, Nativity Story. I recommend those movies over this. And the thing is, this is in her wheelhouse. She is an indie director who specializes in teen stories. So this movie should have worked. This movie should have made me interested in the life of a teenager falling in love with a vampire. It should have. Fuck, I was pretty enthralled in the Virgin Mary getting impregnated by God. Or the Holy Spirit, sorry. But not here. Like, I don't know what happened. Just what? Like, I recommend her other movies. Don't watch. Don't. If you want to know more about Catherine Hardwicke, watch Lords of Dogtown or watch Nativity Story or any of her other filmography. Not this, and not Red Riding Hood. Sorry, yeah, that was the other one. Don't watch that one either. All right, the cast. You got your two leads. One who's too good for this movie, and Kristen Stewart. And yeah, look, I know that's saying. Look, I know that's bashing Kristen Stewart because I know I've seen reviews where people say she actually is a really good actress. And you know what? I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt on that. But unfortunately, I have not seen the movies that people have praised. I've only seen the ones that she has been in. This, Snow White, and a couple of others where she isn't that good. And I look, I really do want to see Underwater. I hear she's good in that. On the Road, I hear she's phenomenal. And because because if I can get past the whole, well, this actor was in Twilight, therefore they are automatically bad, like I did with Robert Pattinson, then I can do the same with Kristen Stewart. Okay? Because I've seen movies where you see an actor that you know them from something bad, like a Disney Channel movie, and then you go, well, they're not going to amount to anything other than what they started out in, and then they blow you the fuck away. I know Kristen Stewart can do that. But here, it's clear she so did not give a shit. It is clear that she's just in something for a paycheck. Same thing with Robert Pattinson. It is no secret that he fucking hates this franchise. He absolutely despises it. Alright, I mean, hell, getting out of this is the reason why he stopped doing blockbusters. Alright, he only started coming back to it just recently. And thank God, because honestly, I'm excited for him as Batman. But you can tell they hate being here. You can tell they really, really, really hate being in this movie. Like Robert Pattinson, I don't know why, but he does this weird jaw thing when he's talking. It's like, no, like this. It's like I am a monster. I'm a monster. I'm like, okay, could you stop that? Because I see him in other movies where he doesn't do that, and I think I know the difference. Here, he hates doing it. He hates being in this. Lighthouse, he fucking loves it, and goddamn it, he deserved an Oscar for that. But you can tell he's on it. But at the same time, I can kind of see some semblance of he's trying. He's kind of trying, at least with this movie, he's trying. I don't know how hard he tries in the next 4, but we'll find out. But you, he's too good for this movie. He really is. But then you got all these other cast members. You got weird, overly extrovert kid who works for the school newspaper befriending Bella, who seems to not understand boundaries. You got jockey friend who doesn't understand boundaries. You got Rosalita from The Walking Dead in this. You also got Anna Kendrick, of all people. I'm not kidding. Anna Kendrick is in this movie, and she forgot she was in this movie. Like, again, she's Anna Kendrick. She's trying. She's honestly trying, and I love Anna Kendrick. Just, oh my god, like, how do you forget you're in this? That's honestly the funniest thing from this movie, is just knowing she forgot she was in it. And I will say there are some things about this movie that made me laugh. Just not a lot of the cast members. You got Kellen Lutz. Oh god, that guy. You got a couple of TV actors who are just pretty enough to be vampires. You got Billy Burke being Billy Burke, and he's fucking awesome. Honestly, I'd rather see the movie be about him as a police chief. And then you got Taylor Lautner, who is just kind of nothing in this movie. He's in like maybe 3 or 4 scenes, and other than that, he serves no purpose to the plot. His wig stands out more than he does. I think the biggest issue I have with this movie is, and I think this more has to do with the books but I'm only going by what I've seen the movies from the movies, is that they give you like the B plot that eventually becomes like the climax, is a small coven of vampires, of evil vampires, are on their way to Forks, Washington, and they're killing innocent people, and the coven and Edward's family has to hide the fact that they're vampires and just say that that's an animal, and Billy Burke has to help solve this. Just imagine the movie we could have gotten out of this. And look, it's a meme, but watching this movie, it is a true meme. It is a very truthful meme. That I would rather watch Billy Burke as the police chief of a small town in Washington, solving a series of murders caused by vampires, and the only person he can trust is a vampire doctor, and also his wheelchair-bound werewolf, Native American werewolf friend. I would rather be watching that movie. That's the problem with this movie, and from what I understand, the problem with the others, the problem with the books, is that they give you much more interesting stories and characters than the ones we are following, and we would rather be watching them. I would rather be watching Billy Burke solving murders in this town. I would rather be watching stories about Esme. I think her name is Edward's mom in this movie. Like, I know her. I understand her story, if I'm correct on that. I don't care. I don't care about what Edward's mind reading ability does. I don't care about the fact that that these guys have to make Italian food for someone who's for a human. I don't care. Like, it's boring. It is so boring, so uninteresting, that this is the world building that we start off with. And you compare that to something like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, or hell, even the Hunger Games a couple of years later. Look at how they world build in those, and tell me that Twilight is the best. I dare you to tell me that. Like, and the reason behind Edward falling in love with Bella is so stupid, and honestly really, really bad. Like, it's almost comical. It really is. So, Edward has the ability to read minds, okay? And he explains while having dinner with Bella that the reason why he's attracted to her is because she is the only one whose mind he cannot read. Like, he is able to read everyone else's mind around him but hers. And really, that kind of says something. It's like, and I'm just sitting there going, dude, that is not what you'd say to your date if you expect sex right after. Just, oh my God. If I said that to my date, I would genuinely, and I mean this genuinely, I would be understanding if she slapped me in the face and walked out. Because that is so blatantly bad. I would, like, who the fuck says that? Seriously, who says that? Oh my God. I laughed. And that's one of the few times I actually genuinely laugh at this movie. The other times is how bad the effects are. And Billy Burke with the shotgun scene. But that's because he delivered that pretty fucking well, and I honestly did laugh. Because he's Billy Burke, and I do not fuck with Billy Burke. Just like I don't fuck with Stephen Lang, even if he's blind. If he looks like Stephen Lang, talks like Stephen Lang, or is Stephen Lang, you do not fuck with him. Whether he's blind or in a wheelchair. Okay, maybe if he was Stonewall Jackson, but that's a little different. But that's the problem with this. That's the biggest issue with this movie, is that it is clearly an indie film. It is directed by an indie film director trying to be a big blockbuster movie. And they don't even try. It just looks so bad, and I know it's going to get worse. I just know it. And the main villains in this, you forget, are here until not even over long past the halfway point. Like, you got like James, who's the leader of this coven, and you got Victoria, I think her name is, and then you got Black Vampire with dreads, whose name I don't even remember. I know it was said. It's just the one name that no one is going to be able to remember. I don't know what that says about me or what that says about the movie, but none of it's good. And they show up. They find out Bella is a human among vampires, and they want to kill her. Or James wants to kill her. And I'm looking at this dude, and I'm like, dude, you are not fucking intimidating. You are not scary. You are not threatening. You are just a wet mop. You are so uncool looking, unthreatening. You are just not worth it. This guy, I don't know if it's the actor or who, but this guy is just not a villain. I don't know, it's just like he's just sexy villain who likes to not wear a shirt under a jacket. Ugh. And then, like, it ends with Victoria wanting revenge after James has been killed. And I'm like, did you even have any lines? But I'll say this about the movie. There are two positives about the movie. And that's Billy Burke. No, I'm sorry. Make that 3. All right, 3. Billy Burke is awesome. The baseball scene was actually surprisingly well done. That seemed to be the highlight of this entire fucking movie, was the baseball scene. And again, a movie where nothing should be happening, and yet it was well shot, well choreographed, and the dialogue had some pretty good banter to it. And the last thing is, Ashley Greene is the only actor out of all the vampires who puts any semblance of fucking personality in her. Like, when I'm on Twitter and I'm looking at some of my friends' tweets, sometimes they'll go like, "I wish I could be her," and there's a picture of Alice on there, and I'm like, why? Why do you want to be her? And now I watch this movie and I'm like, yeah, no, I totally get it. I totally understand, because this girl is, like, not only is she lively, she's very pretty. All right? She's, like, which I don't know why they want to be her, because, like, my friends are fucking gorgeous too. But I get why they identify with Alice. Because there's no fucking way they identify with Bella. I don't know, like, I don't even know how my sister identifies with her. And she's a pretty normal person. But I can see why so many girls in the goth scene love Alice. Because she's a very lively person who just likes dressing a little punkish. Or at least what this movie describes as punk. She is just this very pleasant person that I honestly, again, would rather be following. And also, Ashley Greene is a good actress. Hell, she was Barbara Gordon in Batman Arkham Knight. Hell, if she was cast as Oracle in a proper Birds of Prey movie, I would be down for that. I would be 100% on board with that casting. And I just, it is probably her and Billy Burke are probably the only things I'm looking forward to in the rest of these movies. At least until Michael Sheen shows up. I know he's in this, and I hear he's fantastic. Oh, yeah, and just I don't even know what else to say about this movie, honestly. Like, it's just boring. It is so boring. Like, I'm trying really hard to talk about this movie. I really am, because it is so dull as a film. And I feel like it's not even Catherine Hardwicke's fault. It's more the fault of having to adapt this book that from what I understand, is the same way. It is absolutely dull. And this movie is just as dull. And it's going to be a hard month for me as I get through the other 4 movies. With that said, I give Twilight a blood-sucking 4 out of 10. This movie is boring. It is uninteresting. There is a semblance of interesting storylines that are pushed to the side because that's not what they think we're interested in. The vampires are not threatening. There is no sense of tension. There is no sense of identification with the main characters. I wouldn't even call this a train wreck movie, because at least a train wreck is something I can look at even though I shouldn't be. It took me 2 sittings to get through this movie. I have never been so angry at a boring movie before, and yet somehow this movie did it. That's it for me, guys. Before I go, though, I would like to give a shout out to my fellow YouTuber, Ciara Celine, who's also on the Slasher site as well. You can check her out on her YouTube channel under the same name as Ciara Celine, where she also reviews horror movies, and honestly is a little better than I am. So please, give her a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below on her videos, and also do the same for me. Hit that like and subscribe button. Please leave a comment below this video. And if you want to catch me on Slasher app, I'm under OcCULTure Critic. Well, that's it for me, guys. Twilight month is just beginning. And someone shoot me now or stake me through the heart, because this is going to be a long, long month. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.